here, I've got this Atlas roundhouse that I built, and I bought this Atlas turntable. This is a really pretty inexpensive turntable, probably considered among one of the least desirable. It's not super high quality, it's a little noisy, but I thought it'd be, suit my needs, so I went ahead and got it. It's actually a guy that's got a YouTube video that he actually, but it's working with a foam base as well. The wood is about, about an inch beneath the foam here. I've got plywood. So the question is, and how do you secure this? It's got 4 holes for screws. The screws are really tiny wood screws in here. He actually completely cut out the foam, and he built a really impressive, circular wood piece that would bridge the distance between the top of the foam and plywood beneath. So he had a complete wood base to set his turntable on. It looked like a lot of work, honestly, to get a perfectly nice round. I'm sure, I'm not the biggest woodworker. Probably some people think, oh yeah, that's really easy. For me, though, it seemed like a little bit of overkill. No disrespect to how he did it, but I feel like, there's not a lot of pressure, a lot of forces acting on this turntable. These are, end scale, small locomotives. I feel like maybe that's overkill. Don't need a, a complete wood base, to underneath this thing. So my thinking is I'm just going to take some little bit of scrap wood I had here. I've used a punch to identify where underneath the turntable these holes are. And I put a punch, so I got some little tiny holes here. I'm just going to cut these out big enough where I can actually glue in a piece of this maybe 3/4 inch square wood here. Then it'll be about an inch thick, going from the top of the foam board down to the plywood below. I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to cut these just long enough again to span that distance. Glue them in, so once they're nice and secure, it'll be, a little bit of, attached to the foam surrounding it too. But once I have those in there, I think that's going to make a good enough base then to screw in these, set this on top and screw in 4 locations onto these 4 little pieces here that'll bridge that space. So it'll almost be sitting on like a tabletop legs here, but surrounded by foam. So that's my plan. I will come back and share the progress as I do it. Thanks. So yeah, I'm just using this keyhole saw here, and where I've punched through my holes here, I'm just roughly cutting out kind of a 3/4 inch square hole here. Again. Of course, here is my as yet not cut wood here that will, once I clean these holes out, they'll just fit right down inside here. I'll glue them in, be the base for the turntable. So here's an example of the holes here. I've got blocks cut to size. I'm just going to use construction adhesive and glue them right in there. I think it's going to make a strong enough base for me then to screw the turntable into those pieces there. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I've actually moved on to doing the wiring in the roundhouse for the track that will be in there. There's 9 stalls, so 9 segments of track that have to be wired individually. Something I've always been a fan of. I'm kind of a computer guy. I've got tons of Cat5 network cable. This is perfect. Certainly, I'm not sure HO requires any bigger, but there's 4 pairs of 24 gauge wire inside each one of these. So I end up, breaking these apart and pulling out those individual strands. There's an example. So I've got these little 24 gauge wires here are what I'll actually run to my blocks, under the table. And then of course I've got a bus wire that's a larger gauge. Yeah, Cat5 network cable. It's you don't want a really cheap solution. Just pull your old Cat5 cable and pull out the 24 gauge wire that's inside. It's perfect for wiring track. So next thing I've done with the roundhouse, I've actually run all the feeder wires that'll be going to each of the track sections in each of the stalls. This is kind of challenging for me because I'm not a big soldering person, but I did solder the first one here. A little dirty, but it works. So now I'll be soldering the rest of these stall tracks here. Just about got all of the stall tracks soldered in. Wires coming out of the bottom here. Holes drilled for the wires to drop through. So I'll obviously probably want to test these before I actually drop it down. But so far so good.